What happened? Okay, students, good morning, everyone. We were discussing about cancer detection and diagnosis. So far, we have completed up to the point of MRI. Imaging techniques are completed. We move forward. Our next point is about use of antibodies. We can utilize antibodies, specifically designed monoclonal antibodies, in the process of diagnosis of cancer. Each type of cancer, let's say breast cancer, pancreatic cancer, prostate cancer, stomach cancer. In each kind of cancer, the cancerous cells produce specific type of antigens on their surface. Let's say specific type of proteins on their surface. What we do is that we prepare antibodies, specially designed antibodies against particular type of cancerous cells antigens. For example, there is a suspicion that there is a particular type of cancer. So we know that a particular type of monoclonal antibodies against a particular type of cancer cells having specific antigens on their surface. Cancer cells produce specific antigens on their surface. By specifically designed antibodies against them only, we can find out whether that cancer is developed or not. These antibodies are tagged with specific dyes with which they are tagged. Means a specific dye molecule is attached with them. Let's say fluorescent dyes. And they are injected in the body of the person who is suspected to have this cancer. If there is such a cancer, then these antibodies will go and bind to those antigens over there. And as you know that they were tagged with what? Specific fluorescent dye. So after some time, the person will be subjected to specific radiations. That part of the body will be subjected to specific radiations in which these fluorescent dyes will show fluorescence. So fluorescence will be detected in that part of the body. Let's assume hypothetically there is a prostate cancer, and prostate cancer cells produce specific antigens. And against these antigens, we have prepared specific monoclonal antibodies. So they are available with us. What we do is, these antibodies are tagged with some fluorescent dyes. We introduce in the body. If there is a prostate cancer, where the cancerous cells have those specific antigens, prostate antigens, then our antibodies will go and bind over there. And when a prostate part is subjected to the specific radiation, fluorescence will come only from prostate part, as an indicator that the antibodies have binded to the concerned antigen, prostate specific antigen, on the cancerous cells in prostate. Imagine The prostate exposed to the radiation does not show the fluorescence, which means these antibodies have not binded over there, which means this prostate doesn't have those antigens, this prostate doesn't have those cancerous cells. This was just an example. It could be for any other organ which is suspiciously announced to have a cancer over there. It is doubtful, not yet confirmed. For confirmation, this can be done over there. Do you understand this, what I'm explaining? Any question on this? Okay, it seems you have no question. The techniques of molecular biology can be applied to the detection of the genes in individual with inherited susceptibility to certain cancers. Identification of such genes which predispose an individual to the certain cancers may be very helpful in prevention of these cancers. Such individuals may be advised to avoid exposure to particular carcinogen to which they are susceptible. For example, tobacco smoke in case of lung cancer. What they try to say is there is an inherent susceptibility on the part of certain individuals to have certain type of cancers. As such, though we say that cancer is not inheritable disease, but yes, there are tendencies for having the cancer in the offsprings if their parents have a certain type of cancer. I give you an example. For males, if father had a prostate cancer, there are greater chances that the son will also have it. Similarly, in a female, if mother had breast cancer, there are greater chances that the daughter will also have the breast cancer. Now, it's not 100% confirmed it will happen, but the susceptibility, the probability is much higher of these kind of incidences. Why so? So researchers have revealed that there are certain genes in your genome, in your genetic material, which increase your susceptibility to cancer than the others. मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूं. Hundreds of people carry out smoking. Hundreds nahi, millions of people carry out smoking. It is written that smoking can be injurious to health. It may lead to cancer. आपने सुना तो होगा, if not seen. Have you heard about this? It may lead to cancer. एक ad भी आती है, movies में जाते हैं तो intervals में, isn't it? Now, millions and millions of people when smoke, is it the case that everyone suffers from lung cancer? All those who are smokers, all of them suffer from lung cancer. Is it so? Isn't it? No. Answer is no. Absolutely not. Out of 10 people you may have seen who are smoker, maybe one even may have suffered, or one or two maximum may have suffered from lung cancer. So what is it that that person suffered from lung cancer when he or she was smoking and not others? Reason is that person had certain genes which lead to cancer when the body is exposed to the cigarette smoke. So certain genes make you more vulnerable to have the cancer than the other person. Other person may be smoking, they may not suffer from cancer, but that person who had that gene becomes vulnerable. If he or she smokes, then he or she is likely to suffer from cancer, not the others. Now imagine if that person is knowing in advance, is informed in advance that you have a gene which will lead to cancer if you smoke. So that person will stay away from it. If it is revealed that you don't have that gene which can cause cancer in case if you smoke, so that will clarify to that person that even if I will smoke, I am not going to suffer from cancer. So imagine if such clarity comes in your life. Okay, you should not be exposed to certain material because that will lead to cancer in your body. So you will make sure that you will stay away from it forever. Simple as that. So nanotechnology, nanotechnology is utilized to work out that every person's genome can be studied and it can be revealed that you have so and so genes that makes you vulnerable to so and so cancer. So you have to stay away from so and so material. Simple as that. So your cancer chances, I mean, having the cancer, those chances are reduced to maximum, unless that accidentally you get exposed to that chemical. You yourself will avoid it, which is simple as that. You are away from cancer. They are trying to find out these genes which make you vulnerable to certain cancers. That is the research going on, obviously at a research stages, and a nanotechnology is in use which will release certain nano robots in your body which will go in your cells, read the genome and detect those genes which can cause such problems in future in your case. Your means in a case of any individual. I tell you one interesting information. You all must have heard about Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie, uh, हॉलीवुड एक्ट्रेस, सुना है? ओके, फाइन. Her mother suffered from breast cancer, and if I'm not wrong, she died because of the breast cancer. Maybe at the age of 60, 50, somewhere in that particular age group, she must have died. After that, she went to the Angelina Jolie, she went to her doctor and asked the doctor to find out whether she is also vulnerable to have the breast cancer. I told you na, that some of the cancers are, if not inherited, but their probability is very high to occur in daughter if they occur in mother. So doctor studied her body physiology, genome, etc., and found that yes, she is likely to have breast cancer once she reaches at a particular age group. And you know the breast cancer is deadly. So what she did is surgically, she had gone for the surgical removal of her breasts. She must have definitely implanted the artificial breast, but then bottom line is that the tissue in the breast, which is vulnerable to have the cancer in the body, breast particularly, she got rid of that tissue ultimately. So in a way, she got rid of her breast ultimately to make sure that she never suffers from the breast cancer. So this is the advancement that you can predict that in future you might suffer from cancer. Simple as that. In future you might suffer from cancer. If that can be revealed at the early age, well, many of us can save our lives. We can get rid of that organ in early stages, if that organ is not much useful in the normal life, at least we can save the life. If there is a choice between an organ and life, obviously each of us will choose the life before the organ. So certain organs without which you can live. Now for example, brain tumor का कोई बोले तो brain थोड़ी निकालने जाएंगे, तो वो तो possible नहीं है. So थोड़ा understanding इसमें होना चाहिए कि certain organs जैसे यूटरस है फॉर एग्जाम्पल, तो अगर प्रिडिक्टेड है कि यूटरस में होने वाला है मेनोपोज के बाद, चेंजेस स्टार्ट हो गए हैं, तो आफ्टर मेनोपोज मेनी विमेन गेट रिड ऑफ देयर यूटरस. यूटरस होगा तो प्रॉब्लम होगा ना. अब मेनोपोज के बाद ऑलरेडी अब साइकिल स्टॉप हो गया है, तो एज सच द लेडी इज नॉट गोना बी द मदर. एंड अदर देन बिकमिंग अ मदर, व्हाट इज द फंक्शन ऑफ यूटरस? मेनोपोज हो गया है, मेंस्ट्रुएशन स्टॉप हो गया है, प्रेगनेंसी नहीं होने वाली है, यूट्रस का क्या बेनिफिट है? नथिंग. तो व्हाई नॉट टू गेट रिड ऑफ इट and get rid of the chances of having that cancer? Obviously for such things the concerned doctor must be contacted. Everything needs to be understood, and as per the suggestion and guidance of the proper gynecologist, such things can be done. But this is one of the reality that one should discuss with the gynec and get rid of it if he or she suggests to do so, in cases where there are chances of having cancer are already revealed over there. Well, I conclude the topic of cancer detection and diagnosis. I go to the another topic that is, just a minute. Where is it? Treatment of cancer. Now, before I go to it, just hold on. Okay, now I will go to the next topic that is called treatment of cancer. But before I go to it, is there any doubt, any question regarding the previous topic, the cancer detection and diagnosis? I am talking to all of you. Nothing to ask, no question. Anyways, if it is so, let it be. We go to the last topic related to the cancer, and that is the cancer treatment. Well, the common approaches that are available for the treatment of cancer, that includes surgery, radiotherapy, radiation therapy, that is, then chemotherapy, immunotherapy. These are the ones which are well-known, popular ways of cancer treatment. Some of the other therapies, homeotherapy, targeted therapy, stem cell therapy, are not much known to the common public. If we talk about the surgery, well, technically speaking, simple logic, surgically removing the part in which the cancer is spreaded, maybe the entire organ or a part of it. The way I explained, if a breast cancer is spreaded in the breast, entire breast can be got rid of. Or uterus, if it is affected, the uterus can be got rid of. If ovaries, yes, ovaries can be got rid of. Then if tongue or a larynx, cheeks, in these parts, if there is a cancer, these parts are removed. Parts of esophagus or parts of intestine, they can be chopped off and remaining part will be joined. So these things are possible where surgery can be applied to remove the tumor or to remove the cancerous mass from the body. But when you do the surgery to get rid of the cancerous portion, there may be chances that along with that, some cells may be left unremoved over there, or they may have spreaded in a nearby tissue. So alone surgery at times doesn't work. Along with that, you have to go for the combination of either radiotherapy, radiation therapy, or chemotherapy, or combination of all the three. Actually, most cancers are treated with the combination of surgery, radiation therapy, and the chemotherapy. What are these two? The radiation therapy and chemotherapy. Let me explain. Let's say that these are the cancer cells, and next to them are even our normal body cells. So first of all, you have to work out the pinpoint location of cancerous cells in the body precisely. And there that works the CT scan and MRI, which will give you the precise location of the tumor inside the body. Then comes radiotherapy. In radiation therapy, we expose tumorous cells or tumor cells to the specific harmful radiations which can kill the tumor cells. This phenomenon is called irradiation. Exposing the tumor cells to the harmful radiations is called as irradiation. The radiation therapy, the one in which tumor cells are irradiated, exposed to the radiations. Now, these radiations must be such which are damaging ones, like it could be X-ray or other radiations, gamma rays, that can kill the cancer cells. Reason, cancer cells are more vulnerable and damaged more by the radiations than the normal cells. It's very precisely done because the radiation, if it reaches to the normal cells, not only it can kill the normal cell, but it might generate cancer in them. So on the way of treatment of one cancer, you are generating another cancer. So one thing that is to be taken care is precisely this is done to ensure killing of only cancerous cells and not damaging the other cells in the surrounding. That's the first and foremost thing. However, it has been observed that effect of such radiation is greater on the tumor cells compared with the normal cells. What must be the reason behind this? See, radiations can cause mutation and damage to the cell. For mutation to occur in DNA, the only time which is available is when cell is replicating its DNA and cell is dividing. The cell which is constantly dividing and replicating its DNA is more vulnerable to the damage by the radiations compared with the cell which is not dividing unnecessarily. सेल में रेडिएशन से डैमेज होने का चांसेस कब बढ़ जाता है? When does the probability of damage increases in the cell because of the radiation? When the cell is regularly dividing, rapidly dividing, at that time the chances of its damage are increasing tremendously. Simple as that. So that is the reason why impact of this radiation is greater or higher on the tumor cells. So this will kill the tumor cells and we can get rid of the tumor from the body. I'll show you the pic. See the the radiation therapy. This is not the diagnosis. Otherwise, it would be giving the sectional view with the help of that polo-like structure. This instrument is not for diagnosis, detection, it is for treatment. Look at this. For example, probably the prostate cancer is being treated over here. So emission of radiation from this instrument targets only one part of the body, and that is prostate over there. Precisely targeting that only. Have a look at it. So this is about radiation therapy. See, concept says that radiation damages the cancer cells more than the other normal cells. The damaged cells will undergo necrosis. Necrosis means degeneration, and gradually the cancerous mass will die down. Another one, chemotherapy. Through injections, the chemical drugs are introduced in your body. These chemical drugs target cancer cells, damage them, kill them, stop their growth, stop them from spreading, and help you to get rid of cancer. Again, the same concept. These drugs are specially designed to target the cells in the body which are rapidly dividing. Now, cancer cells are the ones which are rapidly dividing. So naturally, they will be the easy target of these drugs. So these drugs are supposed to target cancer cells, to kill the cancer cells, to stop their growth, to stop them from spreading. This is the chemotherapy. These drugs are specially designed for particular tumors. For example, the one which is called as mitomycin. Mitomycin करके एक ड्रग है, एंटी कैंसर ड्रग है, जो स्टमक कैंसर एंड पेनक्रियास कैंसर के ट्रीटमेंट में यूज होती है. फिर एक है फ्लूरोयूरासिल. for some special type of cancers such as pancreas cancer, colorectal cancer, esophageal cancer, stomach cancer, cervical cancer, even in a breast cancer, fluorouracil is going to be utilized. So many, we have a list of it. I can show you the list. Let me show you. Now, this is the long list of various chemicals, the drugs that are being used for the chemotherapy, the anti-cancer treatment, use of medicines in the treatment of cancer. See, the concept is very important over here. I will show you the side effects aspect of the chemotherapy. The concept says that these drugs can target cells which are rapidly dividing in the body. Now, once you have a cancer, you realize this fact that cancerous cells divide in an uncontrolled manner, in a continuous manner in your body. So naturally, they will be the easy target of such drugs over there. But one of the side effect of these drugs is that when you take this drug, it doesn't recognize the cancer cell because of its antigen. It just targets the cancer cell because it is rapidly dividing one and causes its death. But in a process, what happens is that many of the cells in our body, which have a tendency to divide rapidly, they suffer the damage because of these drugs. And that leads to the side effects of these chemotherapy. Can you give me examples of such sites in the body where continuous cell division progresses? Standard 11 chapter number 10 माइटोसिस का significance, उसमें 3 sites के बारे में mentioning है where constant cell division progresses in our body. Can you show me the names? I'm asking something to you. See, the way you are not replying, it seems you are not comfortable with my teaching. Then if it is so, I will go to the school. You study with ma'am online. That is your choice. You have to reply either yes or no at least, so I come to know you all are present over there. At least offline class में पता तो चलेगा कि 6 students बैठे हैं. बोलिए नंदिनी, आंसर दे रहे हो? Well, the cells which are constantly dividing, the list is been given to you. The cells in the layers of skin, bottommost layer of the skin. You remember Malpighian layer. The stem cells in the bone marrow, hemopoietic stem cells in the bone marrow, which produce our blood cells. Also, you can talk about the cells in the lining of gut, the alimentary canal inner lining cells in a mucosa. These are the ones which are regularly dividing cells. Even in the hair follicle, our hair follicle cells, they are the regularly dividing cells. So you must have heard about some of the side effects of chemotherapy. First of that is hair loss. Here is the reason. When the drug is trying to kill the cancer cells which are rapidly dividing, parallelly it is damaging the hair follicles also in the body. So hair follicles also get damaged, and its constantly dividing cells are damaged, and that's why there is a significant hair fall. Another one, the stem cells are damaged, so our RBC count goes down and person suffers from anemia. Anemic condition develops in these people. So there are Majority of these drugs are having side effects like hair loss and anemia. I have mentioned why these things happen. As I mentioned, it's the combination of three normally. After surgery, if required, radiotherapy or chemotherapy is always employed to ensure that even if few cells are left in that region where the cancer was there, they would die because of these drugs, so that no chance of reoccurrence of cancer that is being ensured. The last amongst them is the immunotherapy. Well, somehow tumor cells have one, they have shown one property, that they have been shown to avoid detection and destruction by immune system. Somehow they escape the recognition by our immune system to turn into this cancerous cell. Otherwise they were detected. If they were detected, they would have been destroyed. There are several cells. One of them is the natural killer cell, whose job is to identify whether the cell is cancerous cell or it is virus infected cell, our own cell. Moment it is detected to be a cancerous cell, it would be killed over there. It will release certain chemicals called interferons that will kill that virus infected cell over there. Have I taught about the natural killer cell role or not? I think I have taught, isn't it? So somehow it happens. In this scenario, you have to enhance your immune power, your immunity. Patients are given substances called biological response modifiers, such as alpha interferon. Alpha interferon, chemical that is cytotoxic for cancer cells. When we introduce alpha interferon chemicals in our body, they are one type of cytokines. They are one type of cytokines. We synthesize these cytokines, alpha interferon, and introduce in the body, so that wherever there are cancer cells, they will reach there and kill the cancer cells. They are cytotoxic in nature. Literally, they kill the cancer cell. This is the activation of your immune system to destroy the tumor. See, you are you are modifying the immune response. In which sense? Ideally, your immune system should have released alpha interferons to kill the cancer cells. But instead of that, externally, you are injecting them in your body. And artificially, you are increasing your immune power, immune response, and you are controlling the cancer over there. This aspect is considered as immunotherapy, the therapy in which immune power is utilized to control the cancer, to kill the cancer cells. With this, I conclude the topic of cancer, the introduction, what is cancer, the types of tumors, benign and malignant, the properties of cancer cells, the most important property, that is metastasis, the causes of cancer such as the carcinogenic agents, then the detection of cancer by various tests, lastly, the treatment of cancer. One small topic left, that is additional topic out of syllabus. It's about types of cancer: carcinoma, sarcoma, and leukemia. types of cancer topic you have to study from the reference book. So that is the homework that I am giving to you. It will be utilized only for NEET exam, not for board and GUJCAT exam. That's a syllabus included in the NEET exam, not in the board exam. Now here I conclude the cancer and I will start another topic. Alcohol and drug abuse is our next topic. Before I go to it, do you have any doubt, problem, question related with cancer? Okay. So after the break of a few minutes, we shall go for next topic, that is alcohol and drug abuse. Okay, student, our next topic is alcohol and drug abuse. The drugs which are being talked about over here are going to be the narcotic drugs, mainly opioids, cannabinoids, coca alkaloids, etc., that are being obtained from the flowering plants and fungi. Fungus are the also source of some of them. See, the statistical information, the various surveys have revealed that in our society, large number of individuals, particularly the youth, has been abusing the alcohol and narcotic drugs, has been the victim of this habituation of alcohol consumption and the narcotic drugs consumption. This is a matter of concern because this is going to have very high level harmful effects. I just give you one example. The state of Punjab in a last decade, not a single, almost that was the level that not a single home was spared. It was not left where there was no drug abuse virtually. It is just last few years when gradually the NGOs and governments, central and state governments and all got involved and have started controlling this narcotic drugs abusing over there. Because Afghanistan is the site where most of these drugs are prepared, and via Pakistan they were brought in the Punjab. So Punjab became the epicenter of drug abuse in India over there, and still it is at present. That's an unfortunate aspect, but that's a reality. So it is must for the society to make sure that we avoid this kind of alcohol abuse and drug abuse. Otherwise our society will be ruined. Lot of crimes and lot of suicides and lot of wrong happenings will occur in society because of this thing. Particularly the youth will be damaged severely because of this. One by one we're going to talk about each of this drug in detail and its source and its effects, etc., to understand the problems related to their consumption. I'm going to start with the first in this list, opioids. Opioid is the term given. I'll show you first of all. Just a minute. Opioid is the term that has been given. Opioids is the term given to the opium alkaloids, alkaloids that are obtained from the opium plant. The scientific name of this opium plant is Papaver somniferum. Papaver somniferum, that is the scientific name. Popular common name, opium plant, or else known as poppy plant. पॉपी सीड्स, खसखस सुना है आपने? पॉपी सीड्स मींस खसखस, छोटे छोटे सीड्स आते हैं, लड्डू पे होते हैं या कुछ स्वीट्स पे होते हैं. So that is the plant we are referring to. Some of the chemicals that are obtained from it, the alkaloid chemicals obtained from it, are known as opioids. They are known as opioids, and they are the narcotic drugs. This plant is mainly planted in Afghanistan. Afghanistan is the epicenter of opium plantation. Parts of Kashmir, parts of Pakistan are also illegally doing this thing. I'm referring to the Asia. So in Asia, Afghanistan is the epicenter for the same. Now, how is this plant providing us the narcotic drug, the Papaver somniferum? Here are the unripe fruits of poppy plant. You could see this fruits of the poppy plant. After the fertilization, the fruits are developed in the field. So these are unripe fruits of poppy plant. In this unripe status, the farmer shall give such cuts on the surface of this unripe poppy plant's fruits over there, giving the cuts on the surface of unripe poppy fruits. This has been done by the farmer, and the it is done in the field itself. It is not that they are brought at home. They are already in the field, the plants, and they have the fruits developed on them. These fruits are in unripe state. At that stage only, the farmer shall give 5-6 cuts on the surface of that fruit, unripe fruit. You can see that after getting the cut from the unripe fruit, milky fluid comes out. This milky fluid is known as latex. आपने कुछ प्लांट्स में ऐसा देखा होगा ना, आप उसको कट करते हैं तो उसमें से व्हाइट मिल्की फ्लूइड निकलता है. कभी एक्सपीरियंस किया है ऐसा? Isn't it? आप ना कच्चा चीकू अगर कच्चा है ना, उसको कट करते हैं ना, तो उसमें से व्हाइट फ्लूइड निकलता है. चीकू कच्चा, अनराइप फ्रूट ऑफ चीकू. कभी शायद ऐसा ऑब्जर्व किया हो तो. डिड यू ऑब्जर्व लाइक दैट? Unripe chiku, if you cut, you get that kind of a latex secretion, and many other plants have this tendency. Acha, this latex, it is allowed to dry up on the surface of this fruit itself. So look at this one. Day before this fruit was given the cut, over the entire day the latex came out of it, which was left on the surface of the fruit. And now over the 1 or 2 days, this thing gets dried up over there. This is the dried latex. This is the dried latex. ये dry हो जाता है 1-2 दिन के बाद. फिर इसको यहाँ से रिमूव करके कलेक्ट किया जाता है, यहां से कलेक्ट किया जाता है। फार्मर 2-3 दिन के बाद आता है और इस मटेरियल को कलेक्ट कर लेता है। दैट ड्राई लेटेक्स इज कॉल्ड एज मॉर्फिन, दैट इज द फर्स्ट ओपियोइड मटेरियल। उसको मॉर्फिन कहते हैं और ये फर्स्ट ओपियोइड मटेरियल है। उसको ओपियम भी कहते हैं। उसको मॉर्फिन कहते हैं या फिर ओपियम भी कहते हैं। हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस नाउ? पूरी स्टोरी मैंने आपको एक्सप्लेन करके दे दी। प्लांटेशन होता है पॉपी प्लांट्स का, फिर उसमें फ्रूट्स डेवलप होते हैं फ्लावरिंग के बाद। अनराइप फ्रूट्स पे फार्मर कट्स लगाते हैं, few cuts on each fruit and are left behind in the field. The milky secretion coming out from that, that is its latex. After a day or two, this latex gets solidified, dried up, and that dried material is opium, or else you may call it as the morphine. अच्छा, इस मॉर्फिन को एक केमिकल प्रोसेस के थ्रू पास करते हैं and convert it into what is called as heroin. It has been converted into what is called as heroin. The spelling mistake. हेरोइन का दूसरा नेम है डाई एसिटाइल मॉर्फाइन। So basically, acetylation acetylation of morphine leads to formation of heroin. हेरोइन का दूसरा नेम है स्मैक। उसको पॉपुलर जो नार्कोटिक्स कंज्यूम करते हैं, ड्रग्स कंज्यूम करते हैं, ड्रग एडिक्ट्स में इसको हेरोइन या डाई एसिटाइल मॉर्फाइन, डाई एसिटाइल मॉर्फाइन इज अ केमिकल नेम, तो उसको इस नेम से नहीं आइडेंटिफाई किया जाता। इट इज बीन आइडेंटिफाइड बाय स्मैक, दैट इज अनदर नेम ऑफ इट। सो स्मैक नेम से ये आइडेंटिफाइड होता है। अच्छा, ये क्रिस्टलाइन होता है ये मटेरियल। ये क्रिस्टलाइन होता है, वाइट कलर का होता है, ऑर्डरलेस होता है। This is crystalline, white color, orderless, but taste wise it is bitter. Taste wise it is bitter. आपने देखा होगा ना कुछ मूवी में, पुलिस अगर कैच करती है ऐसा मटेरियल, तो उसको थोड़ा सा चखते हैं। They put a small amount on their tongue and try to taste it. From that they work out whether it is bitter, and if it is so, it might be chance of heroin. I don't know whether you have seen or not, but it happens at times in movies. बोलो, यहाँ पे कोई डाउट है? ओपियम प्लांट में से जो लेटेक्स मिला था, उस ड्राई लेटेक्स को मॉर्फिन कहते हैं। फिर उसको प्रोसेसिंग करते हैं जिसमें उसका एसिटाइलेशन होता है, और एसिटाइलेशन के बाद वो कन्वर्ट होता है मॉर्फिन टू हेरोइन। हेरोइन विच इज डाइएसिटाइल मॉर्फिन, पॉपुलरली कॉल्ड एज स्मैक, एंड विच इज crystalline material, white, odorless, bitter in taste. And that is the one that is called smack or morphine, as diacetyl morphine. How these materials are consumed, how these powdered materials are consumed. So some of them, sometimes the material is consumed in this manner. This is called snorting. You know, रुपीज की ट्यूब बनाते हैं और फिर पाउडर को स्प्रेड करके कंज्यूम करते हैं थ्रू द इनहेलेशन. That is one of the way of consuming this material. दूसरा मोड है जिसको कहते हैं इंजेक्शन. इस मटेरियल का इंजेक्शन ले लेते हैं. So either through injection or through snorting, it is consumed over there. Then comes, what are the targets of this material in our body? See these opioids. Example, morphine, heroin, etc. Morphine and heroin, the two commonly obtained opioids. They go and bind to specific receptors in our body known as opioid receptors in CNS and gastrointestinal tract. Gastrointestinal tract, दो जगह पे यहाँ पे receptors होते हैं. अच्छा, what do you mean by receptors, opioid receptors in CNS and GI tract? So there are some specific cells in our central nervous system, some neurons are there, and there are some cells in our GI tract which possess specific receptors to which they can bind, so that the receptors are called opioid receptor. ऐसा नहीं था कि गॉड ने पहले से ये ओपियम कंज्यूम करने के लिए रिसेप्टर दिए थे हमको. ये रिसेप्टर्स पहले से थे. अनफॉर्चुनेटली ऐसा हो रहा है कि हम जो ओपियम कंज्यूम अगर कोई करता है तो ये ओपियम उसको जाके बाइंड कर सकता है, वो अलग चीज है. बट दे वर नॉट प्रिपेयर्ड टू टेक द ओपियम ऑन देमसेल्व्स. So just like several other receptors are there in our cells, these were just one of the receptors. Unfortunately, what happened? Opium has a tendency to go and bind to these receptors. So it goes and binds to the CNS and GI tract. And then it shows its effects. Amongst the effects, well, basically, depressant. Basically, this is depressant. It slows down the functions. It slows down the body functions such as the GI tract functions, such as CNS functions. Particularly, the morphine is the one which is used as, wait, yeah, the morphine amongst this is particularly used as a painkiller. देखो, मॉर्फिन के एसिटाइलेशन के बाद वो डाइएसिटाइल मॉर्फिन हेरोइन बन जाता है. तो आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट, बट द वन आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट इज द मॉर्फिन. मॉर्फिन इज अ पेन किलर. इट रिड्यूसेस द पेन. अब क्या होता है कि जैसे इसका मेडिसिनल इंपॉर्टेंस है. When somebody is operated, it you know, a lot of pain is generated in that part. जैसे ही पर्सन कॉन्शियस होता है, पहले तो उसको अनकॉन्शियस किया जाता है सर्जरी के टाइम पे. नॉर्मली मेजर सर्जरी की बात कर रहा हूँ, या लोकल एनेस्थेसिया दिया जाता है, या ओवरऑल एनेस्थेसिया देके उसको काम डाउन कर देते हैं. बट जब वो रिकवर होता है एनेस्थेसिया में से और नॉर्मलाइजेशन पे आता है, तो उसको सर्जरी जहाँ पे हुई है उस पार्ट में लॉट ऑफ पेन होता है. तो उस पेन को रिड्यूस करने के लिए मॉर्फिन के शॉट्स दिए जा सकते हैं अगर वो सीवियर पेन है तो। अच्छा, कहीं पे सीवियर इंजरी हुआ है किसी को, जैसे सोल्जर्स अपने पास मॉर्फिन का शॉट्स रखते हैं, क्यों? उनको पता है कि बैटल फील्ड में उनको कोई भी सीवियर इंजरी हो सकती है, गोली लग सकती है, या फिर उनको फिजिकली कोई मेजर डैमेज हो सकता है बॉडी पार्ट्स में, स्फिंक्टर्स लगते हैं ग्रेनेड के, उसका जो पेन होता है, वो बॉडी पार्ट में जो पेन होता है वो इतना ज्यादा होता है कि person doesn't die because of the injury, but person dies because of that excessive pain over there. They say pain becomes unbearable at times. So उस पेन को सप्रेस करने के लिए वो इंजर्ड पोर्शन में मॉर्फिन का शॉट ले लेते हैं, वो एक छोटा सा इंजेक्शन रखते हैं और सीधा बॉडी में इंजेक्ट कर देते हैं। इससे क्या होता है कि उनको पेन का फीलिंग नहीं आएगा। अच्छा, बाय दैट टाइम उनको सर्जरी और वो सब हो जाए, उनको अपने यूनिट तक आ जाए, मेडिकल ट्रीटमेंट मिल जाए, तो फिर वो रिकवरी हो सकती है। So till the time they reach to the medical unit where the treatment can be given to them, they should avoid this pain by injection of morphine. So morphine is a painkiller. But if it is medically used properly as per the prescription. अच्छा, अगर कोई अननेसेसरली इसको कंज्यूम करे तब वो बन जाती है हार्मफुल नार्कोटिक ड्रग, सिंपल एज दैट। कुछ लोगों को बहुत ही मेंटल अनस्टेबिलिटी रहती है, बहुत ज्यादा हाइपर एक्टिव हो जाते, तो वो लोग अपने आप को कूल डाउन करने के लिए डिप्रेसेंट का यूज करते, दैट इज अगेन हेरोइन इज द वन। That's all about the first narcotic drug material, opioids, if you have understood. Have you understood? I leave it to you if you have any question. If no question, then I will go to the next part. See, basically, morphine is one form of sedative. Sedative, Sedative. Sedatives basically calm your body, cool your body. बॉडी को क्या करता है? कामनेस देता है, स्लीप इंड्यूस करता है, बॉडी फंक्शंस को रिड्यूस कर देता है, डिप्रेस्ड कर देता है, ताकि बॉडी में हाइपर एक्टिविटी ना रहे। तो इट इज यूज्ड एज अ सेडेटिव। Well, as you are not asking any question, is an indicator that you are clear with this. I go to the next one. Our next topic is cannabinoids. Our next topic is cannabinoids. अच्छा, वो जो पाउडर फॉर्म में था मॉर्फिन, उसका एक फोटोग्राफ दिखा देते हैं, ऐसा होता है हेरोइन। White odorless crystalline powder which is bitter, that is the heroin. Coming back to our next narcotic material, and that is cannabinoids, alkaloids obtained from cannabis sativa. This is the cannabis sativa. One of the leaf of that plant is shown here. Its inflorescence, इस plant के जो inflorescence है, they are the source of chemicals which are to be called as cannabinoids. See, the alkaloids of opium are called opioids. Opioids, opium alkaloids. Similarly, cannabis plant alkaloids are known as cannabinoids. Cannabis plant alkaloids are called cannabinoids. So here is the skeletal structure of cannabinoid alkaloid molecule. Basically, again, these cannabinoids include large number of them, such as marijuana. Marijuana, फिर हशीश, चरस, गांजा. अफीन is the opium. अफीन भी वर्ड सुना होगा, but it is for the opium. ये डिफरेंट है. Marijuana, hashish, charas, and ganja. All are sourced from only one plant. Which is that plant? Cannabis sativa. Many of the, I mean, parts of this plant, जैसे इस प्लांट का पार्ट्स में कंसिडर करो इसका इन्फ्लोरेसेंस, फ्लावर टॉप्स, उसके लीव्स, उसका रेजिन, these are the materials from the plant body which become the ultimately the source of these cannabinoids which we have enlisted. Such as marijuana, hashish, charas, and ganja. Even भांग सुना है आपने? गुजराती में भांग कहते हैं. हाँ. So that is also obtained from this one. So that was about the cannabinoids. See, basically cannabinoids they target the receptors, or they will go and bind to the receptors present in brain. In brain part they show their impact. As a result of that, the cardiovascular system of the body gets affected. It increases your heartbeat, it increases your blood circulation. So that's the kind of impact it is having on our कार्डियोवास्कुलर सिस्टम. हार्ट बीट इंक्रीज हो जाता है, पंपिंग इंक्रीज हो जाता है, स्ट्रोक वॉल्यूम इंक्रीज हो जाता है, ब्लड प्रेशर इंक्रीज हो जाता है. These are the kind of effects the cannabinoids have once they stimulate our brain, and subsequently brain will stimulate our cardiovascular system and these things will happen to us. ये exactly opposite है opioids. Opioids are sedatives, they calm down the system. These are excitatory, they provoke the system, activate the system, increase the body activities over there. Now this gives the kick to some people. कुछ लोगों को इससे किक मिलती है, ये कंज्यूम करने से उनको एक हाइपर एक्टिव स्टेट मिल जाता है. So that is how it affects them. Again, how is it been consumed? As usual, either by snorting or by injection. Is this clear? Hi, Anna. Fine if I ask you some questions. Number one, thoda rapidly reply dena. From which plant these cannabinoids are obtained? What's the source of cannabinoids? Cannabis sativa नहीं sativa. Kea capital C होना चाहिए. Ayushi has written it correctly. Cannabis sativa. Which parts of the plant body are source? देखो मैंने opioids में देखा था लिखाया था ना, unripe fruit उसका latex एक source था. यहाँ पे cannabis sativa का which parts of the plant body are the source of this materials? Flower tops, resins, leaves, etc. Name cannabinoids. Which cannabinoids are obtained from them? List of the cannabinoids. Ganja, hashish, charas, ganja, marijuana, etc. J remains silent. Marijuana कहते हैं उसको. And even bhang. That's the last one. How are they consumed? देखो inhalation भी होता है और oral ingestion भी होता है. Injection के साथ साथ oral ingestion. जैसे भांग कैसे लेते हैं? मिल्क में या किसी लिक्विड में मिला के लेते हैं ना, तो लिखना ओरल इंजेशन. Well, these cannabinoids go and bind to receptors in which part of the body? They show their impact. Brain is the target of theirs. Yes. And once they stimulate the brain, which system will be hyperactive and affected? Cardiovascular system activities will increase over there. Same manner, if I ask about opioids, what should be the main source of opioids? Yeah, papaver somniferum. देखो सोमनी टर्म का मीनिंग ही होता है स्लीप. ग्रीक या लैटिन टर्म है जिसका मीनिंग होता है स्लीप. आपने सुना होगा इंसोमनिया. सुना है ऐसा? इंसोमनिया, नींद नहीं आना. हाँ, सोमनीफेरा का मीनिंग है द वन विच इंड्यूसेस द स्लीप. व्हाट इज द कॉमन नेम ऑफ पेपेवर सोमनीफेरम? उसको कौन से दो कॉमन नेम से आइडेंटिफाई किया जाता है? अरे हेरोइन तो नेम है क्या ध्रुति? पॉपी और एल्स ओपियम प्लांट. पॉपी प्लांट या फिर क्या कहते हैं उसको? ओपियम प्लांट. Which part of the plant body is the source of it, this opioid material? Unripe fruit latex, isn't it? Latex obtained from unripe fruit. I have told you at the stage when they are unripe, farmer will give cut on the surface with the help of blade or knife. Few cuts are given. These are left open for the day or two. The latex will ooze out of it. It is solidified and dried up on the surface of fruit, and it is collected as morphine. Which is another opioid other than the morphine? See, this classification is very important. मैरिजुआना हशीश चरस के साथ में हेरोइन लिखा है, तो हेरोइन is a opioid. Other three are cannabinoids. So that distinction you should be able to make. What is the scientific name of heroin? Dhruvi, it is wrong. Smack is not the scientific name. Diacetyl morphine. So through diacetylation of morphine, you get diacetyl morphine. That is the heroin. And popular name amongst the drug addicts, smack. What are the properties of smack? Apparent properties of smack. Bitter in taste, odorless, white in color, yes, and crystalline, yep. To which, obviously, by which methods it is consumed? By which methods it is consumed? Snorting or injection. Other one was snorting and oral consumption. The cannabinoids was by inhalation and oral consumption. This is by inhalation, that is snorting, and by injection, intravenous injection. I think cannabinoids are not taken by injection, so I stand corrected. It is through oral ingestion and inhalation, not the injection. Huh? To which receptors the opioids bind? Obviously, they will bind to opioid receptors. Where are the opioid receptors present? मैं ये पूछना चाहता था. हाँ, they are. Ayushi is correct. On CNS, in CNS, and in GI tract. What is the impact of opioids in general? In general, any opioid in general is a sedative, depressant, slowing down the body functions, isn't it? What's a specific impact of morphine? Painkiller. पेन रिसेप्टर्स को न्यूट्रलाइज करके पेन इफेक्ट को सप्रेस कर देता है. Now hardly 5 minutes are left. I don't know what to do in that scenario. Chalo, koi question answer. Ma'am, you stop the recording. Today's lecture is over with respect